I'd been running Quest Diagnostics for about 2 or 3 years, and we were in the middle of our turnaround. We'd gone through stopping the bleeding and stabilizing, and we're starting to see ever so slightly some gradual improvement in our business. And I was on vacation, first vacation I'd taken in eons with my family. My wife and our daughter and our son, we had gone to Orlando and to spend some time in Central Florida for a spring break. And we were heading to the airport, got to the airport a little bit early, went through the gates for security and what have you, and we're walking down towards our specific gate for our flight back to the New York area. And all of a sudden, an individual came running up to me. And he said, "You're Ken Freeman." Now, you can imagine my 15-year-old daughter and my 12-year-old son were kind of inspired. Gee, Dad, here's somebody in the middle of Orlando Airport coming up to you and saying, "You're Ken Freeman." And I kind of girded myself and said, yes, I am. And as things moved on and as we discussed things, he said, "Look, I want to introduce myself. You met me about a month ago here in Florida. I was over in Tampa at one of the big labs we have, and I'm a courier for Quest Diagnostics. And I just want you to know, Ken, that I've met you once, and I've attended a town meeting personally, and I come to the virtual town meetings where we see you and hear from you and hear your voicemails and what have you. And I just want you to know that I am in your corner. We are going to turn this company around. We're going to become a great company, and your leadership is going to get us there, and I'm going to be one of those folks on the ground that's going to make it happen. And Ken, I'd like you to meet my family." I introduced my family to his family. We became fast friends. We chatted for 5 or 10 minutes, and in the end, we parted good friends, and even more importantly, I think my kids were inspired. They say, "Gee, Dad, is this how business really works?" And I said, "Well, kids, it can work a lot of different ways, but there's a lesson from this encounter we've had, this chance encounter in the middle of nowhere, and I could have reacted to this guy and said, 'Well, who are you?' And I don't want to talk to you, and I'm here with my family. I'm on vacation, and I want to be upset with my family in an airport as opposed to dealing with being nice to an employee and engaging in a constructive way." And what do we see? And my family said, "Well, gee, what we saw was an interaction of two people who really seemed to get along." And I said, "That's the issue." The lesson of leadership for here is really very simple, and that is, as leaders and as individuals, we have to be who we are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The informal interactions are as important, and I would argue even more important, in leadership than the formal, structured, canned interactions that happen so often day in and day out in our business lives.